Hey, welcome to this new video, and today we'll be scripting a new feature, or not a feature, but something that will be pretty helpful for the common repacks or even your own servers. So what we are gonna do is a recommended level text where you can even tell the player when they go into an instant. You can tell the player what kind of gear you would recommend them to use and what the level range is. So here, when I go into Dead Mines, you can see the recommended level for this dungeon is, and you can see 15 to 25, and self-crafted gear is recommended. And that happens because I added in that Dead Mines should use this recommendation I have added in the code. I will make it so you can even go ahead with this code and then just change it and add new things. I even have added molten core. So let me teleport here, and now let me go inside and you will see something else. So here you should see, here the recommended level for this raid is 60. Early dungeon sets is recommended. So this is what we'll be doing in this tutorial series. So see you inside Visual Studio Code. So let's get started. So first we want to open the folder. You don't need to do this. I just like to do it like this inside Visual Studio Code. So go to where you have your Lua scripts, click up here, click Ctrl+C to copy, then say open folder and paste it up here and say select folder. Now we are inside the folder. Now right click new file, and I will call this recommended level, or yeah, if I could spell that would help, but I will just keep it as this .lua. And now we have the Lua file started out. So let's first, we need some commands, or sorry, not commands, some events to detect when a player enters a map or the map changes for the player. And a map is like instances, is also referred to as a map, and each instance has its own ID of the map. So that means we will need to find out which event we would use. So let's head into our browser now, and let's search SylCore.org, and here you can find the Eluna documentation. So head to Eluna documentation. Up here we want to search register player event, and here we want to look for something which could help us with getting both the map ID and so we know the zone is updated or the map changed. So let's see here. Okay, so here's a great one already. Player event on map change. So we get the event and we get the player. Luckily with the player we can actually just say player colon get map ID, so we can get the map the players in. That's awesome. Let's use this one. So we know that's 28. So let's go back into our code. Let's here say register player event like we always do. And here we write 28. And next up, we want to real fast make a function that will be called when the player enters the map. So let's call it function. And on player enter map. And here we need the event arguments. So that's event, comma, comma, yeah, I think it is, and then comma player. Now we have those. Go back down to your register player event and write on player enter map. And that's all for this. So here what we are doing here is that when the player changes the map, so when the map updates, this function or this register a player event will call all function here. So what we want to do is do all the sending the message to the player and stuff. We'll do that inside the function here, all we made. So now that we have the message, oh sorry, not the message, the function, let's get started with first like making the tables we would need for different dungeons, just so we have everything created and ready. So up here we will make local locations equals and code brackets, and go into the code brackets. In here you again do code brackets. Here we want to give it the ID, so this will be the first argument here will be the ID of the dungeon or raid or whatever map we want to be in. So I know for a fact that Deadmines is 36, and I will show you how to get the map IDs, don't worry. And then I will just set this up, and then I will go in game and show you. So here 36 comma and double quotes, and we here is it's just a string, so you can write it as you want. So but I like to write it in these and then write the level, so just like this, 15 to 25, and then a comma again. And for this we want to make sure this will just be false. False is if it's a raid or not. So if this is a raid, we will just write true here, and then we don't need another table for raids. So we have everything in one table, and the way we figure out if it's a dungeon or a table or a dungeon or a raid is just a true or false statement. And the next we write something like recommended gear is or self-crafted gear is recommended. Don't worry, we'll make this much better and easier to like do a ton of changes to it. This is just like a starting point for us right now. Okay, so now we have our locations. Then right before, or now actually, we will head into the server. So I will start my server up real quick. I'll just give it a moment, and then I will be back. Now I'm in game again. So if you go in to the raid or dungeon you wanna like get the map ID for, you enter the instance, and it doesn't matter where in the instance you are, as long as you're in the instance. Then you click enter and then .bps, hit enter, and now you see all this data, and here you see map for 36, yes. So now we know Deadmines is 36. So now we can go back into our code, and as you see, I have Deadmines written here already. So this is 36. This is awesome. So now we already have the location here. Next, let's real quick make the next table we would need. So this is for the gear recommendations. So as I said, I wanted to do so you don't need to write this, but you just have a like gear recommendation table. You put in the ID or index of it here, and then it knows what to use. So let's create that. Local gear recommendations equals code brackets, and here you just the double quotes. In here you write self-crafted gear is self-crafted gear, and that's basically all. So let's just add one more here, and let's say raid gear. And that's everything. So just for us to know like which index this is, we will go ahead and just write a comment right here. So in Lua, tables and such start at 1, where in other languages, program languages, normally things start at 0. So here, this is 1, and this is 2. So right now, I just added this so we have it ready for when we need to progress on setting everything up and programming more of the script. So this was all for me today, and I will see you in the next video, and we will continue working on this awesome feature with the recommendations. And actually it could be something you could change into other things, so you could make it work differently. You could even connect it to the a database table and make it say something else. Maybe you make some rotations each week in your server, so you could make it say something else. Maybe you work it into another system, who knows? But it's a great thing to wrap your head around how to use the on player entered map events. So see you in the next video.